Today in this video we will see the equations of motion by graphical method. Equations of motion by graphical method. Let us take a case that a body is moving with uniform acceleration. A body is moving with uniform acceleration whose initial velocity is u and final velocity is v and the time taken is t. सपोज एक बॉडी है जो कि यूनिफॉर्म एक्सेलरेशन से मूव कर रही है और उसकी इनिशियल वेलोसिटी u है और फाइनल वेलोसिटी v है। एंड लेट अस ड्रॉ द ग्राफ ऑफ सच मोशन। Time is taken on x-axis and velocity is taken on y-axis. Body has initial velocity u at point A and it is moving with uniform acceleration. Body is moving with uniform acceleration. When the body reaches at point B, its final velocity is v, and at point A, its initial velocity is u, and the time taken is t. So this is C, this point is D, and name it E. So we know that the acceleration of the velocity time graph is equals to slope of the graph. So acceleration is equals to acceleration A is equals to slope of the graph AB. Acceleration is equals to slope of the graph AB, and slope of the graph is given by perpendicular upon base. So perpendicular is BD and base is AB. Now we will find the value of BD. Since OE equals to V, therefore CD is also equals to V. Because OE is equal and parallel to CD. Since OA is U, it means CD will be U. Then BD becomes equals to V minus U. BD is equals to V minus U. So we will write the value of BD, which is V minus U, and AD is equals to OC, which is T. Do cross multiplication, so we get V minus U equals to AT and V equals to U plus AT. This is the first equation of motion. Now for second equation of motion. Derivation of the second equation of motion, S equals to UD plus half AT square by graphical method. So in a velocity time graph, distance covered equals to area under the graph. Distance covered equals to area under the graph AB. Total distance covered by body equals to area of the graph AB. And area under the graph AB means area of OABC, area of the figure, area of the figure, this figure OABC is the trapezium. So area of trapezium OABC, which in turns is given by area of triangle ABD. So first we will write area of figure OABC, and OABC, area OABC is written as area of triangle ABD, area of triangle ABD plus area of rectangle, area of rectangle OADC, area of the figure OABC is given by area of the triangle ABD plus area of the rectangle OADC. Now area of triangle ABD is given by half into base. Base is AD, so half into base into height, height is BD, plus area of rectangle OADC is given by length into breadth, means OA into AC, OA into AC. Now the value of AD, so half into the value of AD, since OC is T, therefore AD will also be T, into BD. What would be the value of BD? So from this, acceleration A is equals to BD upon AD, and by cross multiplication BD comes to be A into AD, and AD is equals to OC, and which is equals to T. So BD can be written as A into T. We will find the value of BD in terms of acceleration and time. From this, acceleration equals to BD upon AD, and BD equals to A into AD. Put the value of AD as put the value of AD as T. So BD becomes equals to AT. Now put the value of BD. So A into T plus the value of OA. OA is U and OC is T. And the distance covered is given by S. So S equals to U into T, UT plus 1 by 2 AT into T, AT square. So this is the second equation of motion by graphical method. Now we will see the third equation of motion by graphical method, which is B square minus U square, B square minus U square equals to 2AS. B square minus U square equals to 2AS. So again for third, again we will find the distance covered, and distance covered equals to area of the graph, area of the graph means area of trapezium, area of trapezium OABC, OABC, and the formula for the area of trapezium is 1 by 2 into height. Height is OC. 1 by 2 into height into sum of parallel sides. Sum of parallel sides means OA plus BC. Sum of parallel sides means OA plus BC. So 1 by 2 into the value of OA is U, the value of BC is B, and the value of OC is T. The value of AC is T. Now we will eliminate T from this equation. So V equals to U plus AT and T is equals to V minus U upon A. So at the place of T we will write V minus U by A. So this becomes 1 by 2 into V plus U, and at the place of T we will write V minus U by A. So this becomes V plus U into V minus U, A plus B into A minus B, A square minus B upon 2 into A, 2A. So S, distance S comes to be V square minus U square upon 2A, and by cross multiplication we get V square minus U square equals to 2AS. So this is the third equation of motion. V square minus U square equals to 2AS. So this is the way to derive the equations of motion by graphical method. Now we will talk about uniform circular motion. Uniform circular motion. Uniform circular motion. We will talk about uniform circular motion. So firstly we will see what is the definition of uniform circular motion. So what is the definition of circular motion? So when a body moves in a circle, when a body moves in a circle, when a body moves in a circle, it is called circular motion. It is called circular motion. So this is the definition of circular motion. How can define circular motion? So when a body moves in a circle, then the motion is called a circular motion. Let us see few examples. This is a square. Let us see few examples. This is a square having 4 vertices A, B, C and D. Body started moving from A. It started moving from A. It goes to B. Then it comes to point C. Again it goes to point D. And then it returns back to the point A. So this is the square track. This is called a square track. And this square track, there are 4 sides. Body started from A. It moves in a square track and it returns back to point A, and it has, this track has total number of 4 sides. Let us see another type of track. This is the hexagonal track. Body is started from A, it goes to B, then it comes to C, it goes to D, then it comes to E, then it goes to F, and then it goes to G, then it goes to H, and then it returns back to the point T. So this is the, how many sides are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. There are 8 sides, and 8 sides means this is the octagonal track. This is the octagonal track. A track having 8 sides is called octagonal track and having total number of 8 sides. This is the octagonal track having total number of 8 sides. Let us see another. Body is started from point A, B, it goes to C, then D, E, and then it comes to F. A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F, and F to E. So how many sides are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is called hexagonal track. Hexagonal track having total number of 6 sides. This is the hexagonal track having total number of 6 sides, and this is a circle called circular track having indefinite number of sides. So the first was the square track and it had 4 sides. Next was hexagonal track, it was 6 sides. Third was octagonal track, it had 8 sides. And the last one is the circular track, which has indefinite number of sides. So in this motion, a particle or a body changes the direction of motion 4 times. Body or particle started from A, it goes to B, and then it changes its direction. The particle changes its direction from point B, and again the particle changes the direction of motion at point C, and again the changes the direction of motion at point B. So in this type of motion, if a particle is moving in a square track, so it changes the direction of motion how many times? 4 times. When a body moves in a hexagonal track, the body changes the direction of motion 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 times. So the particle changes the direction of its motion 6 times. When the particle moves in a octagonal track, it changes the direction of motion 8 times. And when the body moves in a circular track which has indefinite number of sides, so the particle changes the direction of motion. The particle changes the direction of motion indefinite number of times. Indefinite number of times. The particle changes the direction of motion indefinite number of times. So when a body moves along a circular path, so when a body moves along a circular path, when a body moves along a circular path, when a body moves along a circular path, then its direction of motion, then its direction of motion keep changing continuously. When a body moves in a circular path, or when a body moves along a circular path, then the direction of its motion. When a body moves along a circular path, then its direction of motion keeps changing continuously. When a body moves along a circular path, then its direction of motion keeps changing continuously. And the direction of motion changes. It means velocity doesn't change. Speed doesn't change. Its velocity changes continuously. The direction of motion keeps changing continuously means its velocity changes. The direction of motion keeps changes continuously means velocity changes, and therefore the motion along a circular path, therefore the motion along a circular path is a accelerated motion. The motion along a circular path is a accelerated motion. So from all these examples, what conclusion we get? We get that if the track is a square track, if there is a square track having 4 sides, then the direction of motion changes 4 times. If the track is hexagonal track, then the direction of motion of the particles changes 6 times. If there is a track of octagonal track, then the direction of motion changes 8 times. And if there is a track, circular track means number of sides indefinite, having indefinite number of sides. If there is a circular track in which there is an indefinite number of sides, so in such motion, particle changes the direction of its motion indefinite number of times. Particle changes the direction of motion indefinite number of times. So when a body moves along a circular path, then its direction of motion keeps changing continuously. Indefinite number of times its direction of motion changes means the direction of motion keeps changing continuously. And direction of motion changes continuously means its velocity changes continuously. And if the velocity of a particle changes continuously, it means the motion along the circular path is a accelerated motion. The motion along a circular path is a accelerated motion. The motion along a circular path is a accelerated motion. So when a body moves in a circular path with uniform speed, when a body moves in a circular path, when a body moves in a circular path with uniform speed, when a body moves in a circular path with uniform speed means constant speed, when a body moves in a circular path with uniform speed means constant speed, its motion, then its motion is called uniform circular motion. Then its motion is called uniform circular motion. Means in a uniform circular motion, the body moves with uniform speed. The body moves with uniform speed. Uniform speed means constant speed. Its speed remains constant. Then the motion is called uniform circular motion. Means in uniform circular motion, speed remains constant, but velocity changes continuously. Speed remains constant. In a uniform circular motion, speed remains constant, but velocity doesn't remain constant. The velocity changes continuously. What is meant by velocity? Velocity means the direction of motion. So the direction of the motion changes continuously. Means velocity changes continuously, but speed remains constant. And the motion in a circle with constant speed, the motion in a circle, with constant speed, the motion in a circle with constant speed is an example of accelerated motion. Is an example of accelerated motion. So in uniform, what is the definition of uniform acceleration? Uniform circular motion. So when a body moves in a circular path with a uniform speed, when a body moves in a circular path with uniform speed or constant speed, then such type of motion is called uniform circular motion. So in uniform circular motion, speed is constant, but velocity doesn't constant. Its direction of motion changes continuously. Means velocity changes continuously. That's why the motion in a circle with constant speed, speed remains constant, but the direction gets changes continuously. Means velocity gets changes at every point. So the motion in a circle with a constant speed is an example of accelerated motion. And the force which is needed to make the object, the force which is needed to make the object the force which is needed, the force which is needed to make the object travel in a circular path, travel in a circular path, is called centripetal force. It's called centripetal force. The force which is needed to make the object travel in a circular path is called centripetal force. The force acts on the body. The force acts on the body when it moves in a circular path is called centripetal force. And the motion in a circle with constant speed is an accelerated motion. And the force acting on the object when it travels in a circular path is called